Hi Identity family, we're back again on the AfricaUnity platform. My name is KingIdris and I'm here to give you guys the new insight on what is going on the ground in Africa and international community. My people, today we'll be talking about the reason why France, they're losing influence on the home ground in Africa, and why a lot of African countries are trying to get out and not try to do nothing with France no more. Like, a lot of them are dropping the influence of speaking France in their country. They're really dropping it in title to their history too. Like, they are rewriting their history, they are making things over, they are changing a lot of curriculum in their school. The reason are not really well developed, and there's not a lot of infrastructural developmental growth going on in this country, because there's a lot. Most of these countries, most of the French colonized countries said, according to what they said, like the French government have been milking these countries for a long time. Like, I studied in Benin Republic, I know some places too, like Togo, like Cote d'Ivoire, like Burkina Faso. I've been there because of school. I've been there for tourists, so I know what I saw when I was in school in Benin Republic. So there was a lot of things that I know that I used to see in Nigeria. Even when I went to Ghana, there are things that I see over there. There are things that we used to do, things that we know that we already have in the English colonized side, that they're not even enjoyable, or they don't even have it in the French side in Africa. And most of the new leader, like the leader of Mali, leader of Guinea, the military leader of Burkina Faso, they said enough is enough. That's the reason why they're trying to push the French side. They're trying to push the French government aside and to do the right thing in their country for their people, because they're the only one that can fight for their people. The new military government in Mali claiming back some gold, and we even see the president of Burkina Faso turning down the invitation of Donald Trump at the inauguration in the United States of America. You know, a lot of people have been saying a lot of things about this leader in Africa. Like, they are really doing their best, everything they can to put things in the right order in their country, and they've been trying for a long time, ever since they came into power. A lot of things have changed in their country ever since they came into power. So that is the good things that I saw about this new developmental growth on the home ground in Africa. And most of the leaders, is just like they're fighting for their existence, they're fighting for themselves, because most of the freedom that we have in the English side or other side being colonized by other countries in Africa is not the same as the French colonized country. To the French people and to the people on the home ground in Africa, a lot of things is not even the same, because they have to do a lot to get this right in this country. So we can see the popularities of this military leader. They've been trying their best to do the best for their people, and a lot of other African countries, they're saying this. We can see the way they welcome the president of Burkina Faso at the inauguration of the new president of Ghana, on Dramani Mahama in Ghana. We see the military president of Burkina Faso is very, very popular in Ghana. The way the people were flocking, the people were following him. You can see people really like what he's doing, and he's still a young man. So that's the reason why a lot of people support him in Africa, because most of the African leaders, they are mostly like old leaders, old people, wealthy people. There's a young man that have an humble beginning, that started very, very young. You have a lot of history. A lot of people know, like the youngest president in Senegal, a lot of people know their history. Like, all these leaders, they are very, very young, and they're not from rich homes. They have very, very good humble beginning. The reason why the French government says all these countries, they are ungrateful, because the French are claiming they're the one that secure these people, they're the one that secure this territory, they're the one that secure their country for jihadists, for terrorist attack like what we're facing in Nigeria. They're trying to say they're the one that secure Mali, Guinea, because Cote d'Ivoire is part of them now. Cote d'Ivoire too, they send the French military out of their country. So the French leaders, they're saying they're the one that secure the French-speaking side in Africa, that if it was not because of them, that they have their military ground in Africa, they have bases in this country, there would have been a lot of terrorist attacks, there would have been a lot of killings, there will be a lot of attacks in this country like what we see in Nigeria and some other African countries. So they're saying they are ungrateful.
Nous avions une relation sécuritaire. Elle était de deux natures en vérité. Il y a une partie, c'était notre engagement contre le terrorisme depuis 2013. On avait raison. Je crois qu'on a oublié de nous dire merci. C'est pas grave, ça viendra avec le temps. L'ingratitude, je suis bien placé pour le savoir, c'est une maladie non transmissible à l'homme. Mais je le dis pour tous les gouvernants africains qui n'ont pas eu le courage vis-à-vis de leurs opinions publiques de le porter, aucun d'entre eux ne serait aujourd'hui avec un pays souverain si l'armée française ne s'était pas déployée dans cette région. Et j'ai une pensée émue pour nos soldats qui, parfois, ont donné leur vie et pendant des années se sont battus. Nous avons bien fait. On est parti parce qu'il y a eu des coups d'État, parce qu'on était là à la demande d'États souverains qui avaient demandé à la France de venir.
You know, Cote d'Ivoire too is part of them now, so it's Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire. I know they're close to like 6 countries now that they're saying they don't want the French country, they don't want the French military in their countries, and the government of the day, Emmanuel Macron in France, is trying his best just to talk about the existence of France, their history, what they have did in the past for these French colonized countries, that they have helped them. And on the other side, a lot of people too are really speaking out, like they have their own existence too, they have their own history too, that there is a lot of things they are saying, like they lack a lot in this province, in this community, in the French colonized speaking side in Africa.
When I recently considered Emmanuel Macron's comments on Africa, they reveal his diplomatic intentions. Well, every conscious African individual should therefore understand these matters very quickly. Everything he was able to tell us and what it means. General Chani said not long ago about a change in tactics or the strategies of French forces in Africa. I think he came to confirm it. It is about dissolving and maintaining a circular device. Emmanuel Macron conveyed his message so clearly that our only appropriate response is to thank him. Due to their genuine sincerity, even if some individuals attempt to deceive their entire population, the inescapable reality ultimately catches up with them. They will not leave certain countries. They have just dissolved the presence. You will no longer see them in bases, but in embassies, they will be there. They are going to establish security companies to secure their society that exists in those countries. The soldiers will be there, but you will no longer see them in uniform or gathered in bases. That's all it means. They are going to reorganize, but they will be there. As a courtesy towards certain heads of state, priority is being given to them to announce the rupture or the departure of French military forces from their respective territories. It matters little to us, one could say. But all we know is that if you want a break with these imperialist forces, it's simple, denounce the agreements. It all starts there. I think the example of Chad, in any case, they started by denouncing the agreements. Otherwise, if you do not denounce the agreements, just saying that the bases are leaving, we have done nothing. Because the problem lies in the colonial defense agreements that have been signed since independence. The most dangerous thing is not what you see in the bases. The most dangerous are the military advisors. The military council currently exists within all of these countries. They existed in Burkina as well until the end of 2022, until we took our responsibilities. And who are these military advisors? They are the ones who are supposed to put into practice France's policy here. They must work to make our armies very weak so that France can always have the argument to exist here. Compared below, they had succeeded. Our sentinels were therefore on guard with sticks. That's what France wants from our armies. When we reach this stage, we have no choice but to want them to come and settle. But the Burkinabe army also seems at some point to get rid of the military advisors. Unfortunately, I think that in 2019, after Operation Otapon, circumstances worsened significantly, where these French saw that the army in Burkina Faso still had the capacity to react to terrorism. they called the chiefs of staff in France.
They're saying they lack a lot because if most of them go to the English-speaking side like Nigeria, like Ghana, they see the developmental growth in all these sides. Like Egypt, they see the growth in all these sides. So things that they have not even experienced in their own country, the English-speaking side have already experienced it. So they have a lot that they are seeking for. And we see a lot of other countries too, like Cameroon, that they have their own issue, like from the Anglophone side to the Francophone side. And the people are really speaking out to, they have one of the oldest government in Africa, and things are not changing. So this French-speaking side in Africa, they're not part of the people that have the massive economy, or they have that have the massive money, but they have a lot of natural resources. So these military leaders, they're capitalizing on the natural resources in their countries to see what they can do about it, how they can make money out of it. So that's the reason why we see what Mali are doing, taking 3 tons of gold from the businessman from Canada. They're just trying to get the natural resources for themselves, because we see Africa have the natural resources. Imagine if we can team up together and trade with our goods, with our natural resources, with our crude oil. Imagine if we can do that. Nigeria sell crude oil to some people, they will take it out to refine it, and they'll still come back to Nigeria to sell it for Nigeria. A lot have been going on around Africa. They've been talking about Africa in a shady way, like they take natural resources out of Africa and they came back to resell it for Africa. So it's just like the African leaders now, they're trying to take their power back, they're trying to take their future into their hands. I don't see nothing bad in this. A lot of other people are saying the rudeness, the arrogance of these people, of these new military leaders in Africa is too much. But
one of our main resources is oil. We're the largest oil refinery in the world. So we buy oil from Nigeria and we refine them and we sell it back to Nigeria. Yeah. So you know, that's basically what we do. So we are one of the largest oil refinery in the world. Right? Because we have no natural resources whatsoever. You know, if somebody tells us, you know, we even buy our water. We buy water from Malaysia. We buy crude water from Malaysia. We desalinate them, we purify it, and we sell it back to Malaysia. Don't judge us. We need to make some money somehow. So you know, our car, all our cars have a lifespan of 10 years. After that, we either scrap it or we resell it. We sell it to places like Indonesia, Ghana, we sell it to Nigeria, and all this. So these are the people that will come and buy our 10-year car. What they do is they modify it. You drive on the left hand, right? Right, so but ours is on the right hand. So they purchase this 10-year car, right? With a lifespan of 10 years. They buy this car and they modify it and they sell it super expensively. So
to me, it's not too much. They are coexisting. They are going along with other countries in Africa. They're just talking about ECOWAS because they want change from a lot of things. They want them to carry them along to be part of the developmental state in Africa. They're just trying to look out for themselves, for the future of the people in Mali, in Guinea, in Burkina Faso, in Cote d'Ivoire, in all these French countries, that a lot of people know that they have a lot of future. They have huge future. They have a lot of natural resources, a lot of things that they can put together to make their country great. So to see all these leaders trying to get things done by themselves, taking the Western countries out, or the Western power out, like France and other people, I don't see nothing bad in this. I don't see nothing bad in this. You can see the way they're talking about Africa. They're even saying Nigeria glory is past glory. A lot of people are just putting us down. I think we need to put our power, we need to take our power up ourselves and think how we're going to manage our future, because nobody is going to do it for us. Everybody everybody is thinking of how to generate wealth and come to Africa and take things out of Africa. And we that we live in Africa, we're thinking of how to go to school and run out of Africa. So who will own Africa at the end of the day? So for these military leaders in this Africa country doing all these great things for their people, for the developmental growth of their people, and chasing France out saying enough is enough, I don't see nothing bad in this, because they want growth, they want developmental things too in their country, because they can see what is going on in other countries like Ghana, like Nigeria, like South Africa, other big countries in Africa, that they are really making it big. So, and they saw and I'm not gonna say it's true for not going to I'm not gonna say the Burkina Faso president is true for not going to the inauguration of Donald Trump. A lot of people have their opinion about the things that is going on that Donald Trump talked about, and everybody have their opinion on who to support. We can see what is going on now in the United America now. A lot of things are really going on, a lot of issues are really going on. So for this brother to have his own opinion, to stand on his own ground, we can see him being at the inauguration in Ghana, and a lot of things are really even going on. I know African countries, we are not being respected for the wildfire that happened in California. The mayor of California came to Ghana and they roasted her for that, just coming to Ghana inauguration. So people are saying, where is Ghana? Which country is Ghana? You know, they're just saying that it's like just putting the African people down. So if the military leader is saying enough is enough, they want to take the power to the ends and make a change in their country, you know, capitalizing on their natural resources, I don't see nothing bad in this. So to me, it's a good look. It's a good look, and I respect them. You can see the way they acknowledge his presence in Ghana when the military leader from Burkina Faso went to Ghana. They are neighboring countries though, but you can see the way the people, the African people, welcome him. So you can see people in Africa really like this developmental growth in all these new military French colonized country. So it's a good look from my own side. So I just came out to speak about it. Like, I don't see nothing bad in them trying to take the power up in their country, try to put it in their hand. If they do it the way they like, if something happen in future, they will know they tried, but it's still the same, because they say the French and some other Western countries have already taken out a lot of African leader, prominent African leader like Patrick Lumumba, like the former leader of Burkina Faso, Sankara, a lot of, you know, prominent people. We should just keep it like that. So for all these brothers picking up and doing the best for their people, I don't see nothing bad in this. So my people, I'll be coming to another segment today. I just came out to speak about it, just a quick one. I'll be saying, one Africa, one people, one unity. Unity over division, my people. One love. Thank you, one love.
That is why I would urge you to go all out, so that we can establish these elite schools, so that these talented individuals do not end up going abroad. Because for a long time, imperialists have always drawn talent from here through scholarships. Once they are home, they do not return to the country. I do not want these brains that are here to end up abroad and not serve our country. Make sure that these initiatives succeed and that we can establish the polytechnic and technological universities we need, so that these children can express all their talents and work for the benefit of our homeland. It is almost like another